Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker's Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 106, and today we are going to talk about 11 things that you can do to plug the holes in your sales funnel. I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. I did a LinkedIn post last week and had the most incredible response to it. And it was really all about this whole idea of getting leads and maximizing and essentially extracting every single drop of value out of those leads. So I'm really excited to be sharing this with you today. But first, if you've actually got lead flow, another resource that you can use to convert more of those leads into paying clients is to head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab your free audio training where I show you the exact strategy that you can use with those leads that are already in your ecosystem. So people that you've spoken to, they've been given a quote, but they haven't converted yet. It's over at johnblakeaudio.com. What you'll get is not only the audio training, but you'll also get a PDF companion that goes with the audio training that actually gives you the exact word for word email templates, the scripts that you can use to follow people up that you haven't already received an order from, a number of different levers that you can pull to maximize the actual revenue, the sales revenue from people that you've spoken to that haven't bought yet. So it's over at johnblakeaudio.com. Head over and grab that. It'll give you consistent results in your business. I've been using it for years. I've implemented it with dozens and dozens and dozens of clients and seen it work consistently over and over again. So head over there and grab that at johnblakeaudio.com. All right, so plugging the holes in your sales funnel. So as I said, last week I did this post on LinkedIn. I drew a picture of a funnel. And if you can picture a picture of a funnel, you can actually go and check it. If you check out my LinkedIn profile, John Blake Sales, if you just do John Blake Sales, you should find me. And you'll see the drawing. And it's a drawing of a funnel. It's got all these holes in it, and there's all this water spurting out of it. And in one of those, each one of those holes has got a whole bunch of water coming out. And one of them is leads not contacted. Another one is leads not converted. Another one is leads not followed up. There's about 6 of them. But what I'm going to do is actually go through this checklist that people requested from me, which you can grab off me as well if you want. Just send me an email at john@blake.com.au. And if you're driving, you can just do a search for John Blake Sales on Google, and you'll see my website come up, and you can just send me a contact request and I'll send it to you. I don't want you to write my email down if you're driving. So I'm going to give you 11 things that you can do to plug the holes in your sales funnel. So the first one is contact every lead within 5 minutes of their inquiry. The clients that I have got this in place with have literally transformed their conversions, because what we know, the data tells us that if you contact every lead within 5 minutes of their inquiry, your chance of converting them goes up by 900%. In another bit of data, and that is that 50% of sales go to the first company that contacts a lead, because a lot of people will get 2 or 3 leads. 50% of sales go to the person that contacts them first. The second one is connect with every lead. Don't just try a couple of times and then give up, because people get busy. And so just because they didn't take your call the 2 or 3 times that you rang them this week, it doesn't mean that they're not going to take your call next week or the week after. So try harder to actually talk to each lead in the first place. Talk to each lead before you send them a quote. You'd be surprised at how many companies out there will receive a request for a quote on email and they'll just email the quote back. It's bizarre. Why would you want to talk to somebody before you send them a quote? Well, first, you can make sure that they're actually ordering the right thing for their particular set of circumstances. But what you can also do is add additional items that will protect, enhance, or support their initial item of interest. So that is the Third one. The fourth one is actually present the quote to the client so that you can explain the value before they see the price. If you just email it, they're just going to click through until the price. Number 5, make sure there is a next contact confirmed with every client to make sure that you are moving forward with them in the process. If you don't do this, you will lose control of an opportunity. And once you've lost control, it's actually hard to reconnect with them and regain control and an understanding of whether that opportunity is actually going to go ahead or not. The next one is make sure every opportunity is properly tracked using a CRM. And if you're using a spreadsheet, you need to stop it. Because a spreadsheet, even though it's better than just writing it on a notepad, it is very, very limited when you compare it to a proper CRM. I have a particular CRM that I use, but there's a couple that will do the same job. The next one is make sure you meet with the sales team, your sales team, if you have a sales team, using an effective sales meeting framework to make sure that each salesperson has current accountability for all of his or her opportunities. So if you can make sure you're doing that on a regular basis, you can make sure that you're actually moving opportunities forward. Regularly re-engage with leads that have said no or that you have been unable to contact after a predetermined follow-up contact framework. So what that means is similar to the training that I've got available at johnblakeaudio.com. That's a predetermined follow-up contact framework. So after you've exhausted that, so there's enough of a framework there for like 90 days, make sure that you're still contacting them regularly. And there's a number of different things that you can say when you get in contact with them, but that is a training for another day. The next one, pull out and contact every outstanding quote for the last 6 months. Just ring up every quote, anyone that hasn't converted. And there's a number of things that you can ask them. Again, I think I'll do a separate training on that, but just ringing them and seeing if they are still interested in going ahead is a great place to start. There's a number of different things that you can ask them as well, but that is a great place to start. Next one, ensure all emails and verbal language used in your sales process converts at each stage of your sales process and each person is using it, right? So many people will invest in a sales process and then you go back 6 months later if they haven't got some accountability or some ongoing coaching and you ask or observe what their salespeople are doing and they're not doing it. They just revert back to bad habits. I spoke to a guy yesterday in Italy who is looking to do some coaching and some mentoring with his team, and I asked them what they did last, and they said that they did some training with a relatively well-known trainer. And I said to him, do you think that your sales team are still using the things that they learned from this particular gentleman? And he said, very, very few. So having that process in place, it's there for a reason. Make sure people use it. Hold them accountable to it. Focus on follow-ups, right? So even if your follow-ups get really, 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 really big, there's a couple of things that you can do. Like first one is qualify people better, disqualify people better. But if you've got people that you've actually taken through your process and shown them some kind of a solution, then take the time to follow up. These people have already inquired. They've already said that they're interested. Follow up with them. Make sure that they are either a yes or a no, right? A no is infinitely better than a maybe, but even if you have to lock yourself in a room for an hour a day, just do it. And that is it. So quick recap. Contact every lead within 5 minutes of their inquiry. Connect with every lead. Don't give up after a couple of tries. Talk to every lead before they send a quote. Actually present the quote to the client so that you can explain the value. Make sure that there's a next contact confirmed with every client to move the purchase forward. That way you don't lose control of opportunities. Make sure every opportunity is properly tracked using a proper CRM. Make sure you meet with the sales team using an efficient sales meeting framework to make sure each salesperson has current accountability for all his opportunities. Regularly re-engage with leads that have said no or that you have been unable to contact after a predetermined follow-up contact framework, the one that I have available at johnblakeaudio.com. Pull out and contact every outstanding quote for the last 6 months. Ensure all emails and verbal language used in your sales process converts. Often there are bottlenecks in people's sales processes that we can fix if we know what they are, but making sure that you're actually examining that language at every stage of your process is very, very important. And focus on follow-ups. Even if you have to lock yourself away with no disruptions for an hour a day or an hour a week or however many you've got, do that, because it will pay dividends. So I hope you got some value out of this. I am sure you will. As I said, if you want this checklist, email me, John, John, at john-blake, blake.com.au, or if you are driving, when you get to a place where you can safely Google John Blake Sales and use the contact form and request the checklist from me, and I will send it to you. Cheers. Talk to you on the next podcast.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.